everyone. This is technically part 2 of my review on Sabrina season 3. But this kind of covers all of Sabrina this season of season 1, 2, and 3. And basically this is Sigil of Baphomet and their view on Sabrina, the Netflix season, or the Netflix Sabrina, and Satanism. So of course they're a company that is run by a Satanist, and they sell Satanist jewelry. One of my sponsors as well, and I am actually wearing the Lilith necklace and also the inverted pentagram that you can buy in the store, and I'll leave a link down below. So it starts off as, I am pleased to announce that Warner Brothers, producers of the show The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, had contacted me to feature one of the necklaces I created. That is awesome. That is really awesome. I wish to personally thank Jen from Chaos Cult, a shop based in Canada, for giving me a heads up and making this a possibility. It was through her that I was given a heads up ahead of the actual contact made. I could have simply made a Facebook, I think you meant Facebook post about this. However, I just can't help bringing up the show, or bring up the recent past regarding this Netflix show. Okay, I messed up there. Many in the Satanic community still remember the famous lawsuit regarding the Sabrina show and the Baphomet statue. I remember that. I do. That was a while ago. Maybe it was like a year or something. Probably a year. Anyway, first I want to clearly make it a point that I do not know all the details on what went on there. I know as much as anyone reading this blog that may recall the story, as many of us have via news outlets. I will also say that I was one of the earliest supporters of that organization back in 2013 when I began this website. Since then, I have not always agreed with everything that they do and how they handle certain situations. I'm not going to discuss all that like or dislike about the organization. Everyone has an opinion, and I reserve most of mine these days. I will have to say, however, something about this situation. Laws are typically written by the first man that broke them. In this case, how people handle situations sets the precedence for future matters. The fact that the producers contacted me, while I thought it was a great and all, was really not needed. I have mentioned this to a few close people, and some have said something along the lines of, "Oh, they're just covering their ass," referencing the lawsuit indirectly. Look, I haven't forgotten either, but honestly, there was no ass to be covered with me. My jewelry is getting knocked off by Chinese sellers under different private label brands on Amazon. Oh, I think they were worried about, that lawsuit. So would they do this with everybody who sold like satanic jewelry? I don't know. The producers, or I think even producers, could have easily chosen a necklace from any other brand and just gone on with the show. The fact that they reached out was a very honorable thing to do, and I respect that. I totally understand if they didn't want to take any chances, The fact that they did says a lot about what happened since the lawsuit was settled. As you may not know, the Baphomet statue has been taken off after the first season. No matter what the end result was when this was settled, they chose not to feature it and be done with it in the following season. Yeah, I noticed that. Little do they know, they can probably use another statue and not have to deal with such frivolous lawsuits in the future. True. As with my necklace, they could have easily chosen someone else's, and besides all this, it would be hard to prove that I am the creator of any items featured on the show. That is true unless they credit Sigil of Baphomet. I am ecstatic that at least one necklace will be worn by a character on the next season of Sabrina's show. I want to see that. I hope they show that. I think it speaks volumes on whomever is consulting their staff for some relevance to all things occult. I think it's a good move, honestly, legally. I personally feel that had this past lawsuit been a long drawn out situation, future opportunities will be closed off. I mean, having something featured on a show would be great for exposure. I wouldn't even need a credit, to be honest, though it would be nice to have. I really hope they do credit Sigil of Baphomet because they're so popular, and I think it would help business big time. Okay, now you may think that perhaps the organization wanted exposure for the use of an image of the statue, not an actual picture. The image was more or less a replica and not an exact pic of the statue. But this would turn people off if permission needs to be sought after every little thing shown on a Netflix show. True. Not only that, but what did this say about the Satanic organization? Was it for more exposure? I mean, they certainly love media attention. They feel they gotta go on news outlets to educate the public on Satanism, something anyone can already do by simply picking up the Satanic Bible. But people are lazy. And they rather look at media. So honestly, a lot of people won't do research. That's why Satanism is so misconstrued, to be honest. Anyway, these are my thoughts on the whole situation. I always thought that the producers would simply drop this image that drew a lawsuit out of the show, and they did. But now they are probably on edge over every little thing. It could close opportunities for people whom have items that could be used as props or costumes or etc. for future episodes. It would be a shame to know that based out of fear that the occult-based shows would hardly be produced due to the hassles of having release forms needing to be filled out. Good point. I responded to the Warner Brothers producer and made it very clear that should they need any other item to feel free to reach out. The store is literally open to them. No need to ask for permission. I would rather work with them than fight with them. Good move. And for the record, no discussion of the lawsuit or any mention of the Satanic organization was mentioned in any way, shape, or form when I responded to Warner Brothers. P.S. Fuck you, you know who you are. I don't know who, but according to Jim from Chaos Cult, the show was probably around half finished for the next season. I was told by the producers that filming the new character would start immediately and the necklace. The seal of Lucifer was going to be utilized. I did not ask for details, nor would I share much of what you can expect to see if I knew. In fairness, I've heard a lot of good things about the show, and I would recommend people start watching and get acquainted with the storyline on Sabrina. All statements made in reference to people or places are strictly my opinion and for the sole purpose to discuss the news that a product will be shown on a popular Netflix show. I embrace the news as this also shows that my brand of jewelry has reached new levels of recognition. I appreciate that Jen in Canada was able to let them know about this brand and is likely what made them want to buy it. I am told that they have frequented her shop often. If you are in Canada, I also recommend checking out their shop in social media. They have a wide variety of items worth taking a look. With that, I end this to let you decide what you think of this blog. They didn't call upon other sellers of satanic jewelry. Not everyone will agree with how that past situation was handled, and it's highly unfortunate because it probably wasn't needed. Unless it was about money, the so-called church and nonprofit. I have some words and opinions about this. I do agree with Sigil of Baphomet or Xerxes on his opinion about, I don't think that it should have been that big of a deal. It wasn't, unless the statue was copyrighted, or patented. I don't think it's copyrighted. It was kind of unnecessary, I think, and I think it would not or discourage a few people who want to make anything about the occult from doing anything about the occult, which is interesting because with Sabrina, it's kind of like in a more positive light. It's more interesting. They say, "Oh my Satan," or "Oh my Satan," "Hail Satan," instead of "Oh my God" or whatever. And it does show a part of Satanism, but it is kind of more of like an entertainment purpose thing. Like, but it's not putting it as negative as most Hollywood does, which is like the Satanists are always like the murderers or sacrificing babies and all that stuff. They don't necessarily need to do that in this series. It's like a choice, but they have morals. Like they're close or whatever. Just their own set of rules, kind of being themselves type of thing. Of course, there's more about Satanism, and like he said, if someone wants to know about Satanism, like all parts of Satanism and different types of Satanism, it's best to do the research, honestly. And a lot of people won't do that. And so, and on the other end, I see why Satanists want media exposure, because it does bring out more knowledge about Satanism. And Satanism is one of the very few, probably one of the only 2 or 3 religions that I actually support in a way, but I'm not a part of, because I agree with a lot of views from Satanism, but I'm not considered a Satanist. So obviously I'm showing my support because I have the jewelry and stuff like that. So I'm actually glad he covered this. I think it's awesome that he had this opportunity. I'm going to leave links down below to the blog that he wrote. Also links down to his merchandise. Check out the Lilith necklace. Check out this cool ring which came out. I think there's a black one too, but it's pretty awesome. They always have cool jewelry coming out. And I think I just figured out who you was saying fuck you to, because there was like a so-called copyright, well, it wasn't copyrighted, there's so-called design issue from another creator for Satanists, like yarn dolls or whatever, or plushies, and they said that Sigil of Baphomet stole the design from it. And I don't care if you guys watch this, because you can kiss my ass, because it's not copyrighted. They didn't steal it. One of his friends gave him the design. I can understand if it was copyrighted, then you could take legal action, but they couldn't do that. They were just pretty much just bitching on their page. They stole this and stole that. And I actually did research, and other people had the idea, but because Sigil of Baphomet is such a big company, as you can see or hear from the blog, because Warner Brothers actually directly contacted them, they felt like they wanted more attention and exposure, and felt like they were stolen from. So that's just my opinion. A lot of people don't agree with that. I will also share the other company's website of stuff if I like it, which I probably will, knowing Sigil of Baphomet. I also wanted to point out that you get some cool stuff when you get your orders from Sigil of Baphomet. Like, I got a cute baggie with a ring, and it comes in silver and black, I believe, right now, and it's new. And also, when you get necklaces, you get cool boxes like this. And I don't throw them away, I keep all of them. So, yeah, Xerxes, if you're watching, I keep all the boxes because they look badass, and there's no way I want to throw these things away. And, so just go buy from Sigil of Baphomet. I mean, they're cool. Xerxes will talk to you if you have any issues. So, anyway, thanks for watching, Sophie. Like and subscribe for more videos.